Hey, what's going on guys? It is Tim. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be discussing the top 10 best Call of Duty zombie maps of all time. Now, I've actually done this on my channel twice already. One of them was a top 10 exactly like this, except for it was a long time ago. It's really outdated. My opinion has changed quite a bit. And then a month later, I made a top 5 to kind of update that crappy top 10, and it still was a long time ago. My opinion has still changed. I think differently of these maps. I played them all thoroughly, and I've also played all of the remasters on Zombie Chronicles and every single Black Ops 3 map. Right before we hop into this, guys, just bear in mind that this is my opinion, okay? So you are not going to have the same exact list as I am. We're going to have different lists here, and I'm not rating these by favorites either, because there are going to be some personal favorites of mine that simply won't make this list because they're not favored in the zombies community. So I'm going to be rating them on favorites in the zombies community, how awesome and epic they are, and there aren't going to be any honorable mentions. We're just going to go straight through the whole top 10. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead down below and drop a like. Let's aim for 50 likes. That would be awesome of you guys. And this video is actually going to be released before the final episode of the zombie map tournament, so technically the winner of that episode would be the best map of all time, but that's fan voting. This list is going to be my own personal opinion. But anyways, yeah, let's just hop right into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot, guys, we have Ascension, which was in Black Ops 1 and then remastered through Zombies Chronicles. We're going to be focusing more on the original version, just showing you some gameplay of Zombies Chronicles. Now, Ascension is a pretty old map, but for back in the day, it was an advanced experience. I mean, we had lunar landers flying above. You had to activate all 3 of those to turn on the Pack-a-Punch. You had an insane amount of perks, with 2 new ones being introduced, Stamina Up and PhD Flopper. Ascension is a very easy map because all you realistically need is a Thunder Gun and Jug, and you can just get to whatever round you want. They also introduced Space Monkeys, and although I don't like them, they add a challenge. They mix up the map. There's not many things about Ascension that I really have to complain about. Maybe the Space Monkeys, but again, that's what makes the map interesting. Ascension was the first map that wasn't really Nazi related. I mean, we had all the World at War maps, and even though Shinonuma was in Japan, the Japanese were affiliated with the Nazis, so everything was just Nazi related, and then we got away from it and we came to a Russian Cosmodrome. This map is one of my first maps, very nostalgic. I love the feeling of this map, and it's a generally good map. You can ask a lot of people that have been playing zombies for a long time. Ascension is definitely a classic, has to be at the number 10 spot. Coming in at the number 9 spot, guys, we have Buried. Now, personally, I'm not very fond of this map, but a lot of people tend to enjoy this map, and I gotta give this map credit. It was a great experience. Now, despite the fact that you could grab a Paralyzer, set on top of the bank with Vulture Raid, and get to round infinity, and I guess the fact that you could get everything set up on round 1 through the banking system, it is a really unique experience fighting off zombies in an old American Western town. Now, this map is very complex and very large, but once you get used to it, it's not that bad. There's so much Buried has, there's so much detail, so many different things you can do with all the different perks, weapons you can get. I love playing with friends. It's a lot better than playing solo in my opinion, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, Buried has so many different cool things you can do. And the best thing about this map is when you make your way through the witch's hut without getting sexually assaulted and losing your points, then you get a free perk, you can Pack-a-Punch your gun, go back, keep doing that over and over again. So I think Buried is a really cool map, definitely deserves a number 9 spot. Coming in at the number 8 spot, guys, we have Call of the Dead, one of my personal favorite maps in Black Ops 1, probably tied with Shangri-La. Now, there's a number of reasons why I like Call of the Dead. The number 1 reason is that it is a challenge. How many people do you see that can get past round 50 on this map? Not many. It is a very challenging map, mainly because the wonder weapons don't carry you very well into the high rounds. The Scavenger's beastly until about round 35, 40, then it drops off, and the VR11 kind of just sucks in general. So this is one of those maps where you can't just rely on a powerful wonder weapon and get to infinite rounds. You really have to be talented to get to a high round in this map. In general, I just love the way everything looks and feels on this map. I hate the fog, but otherwise, it's a really good looking map. I love the snowy vibe. The 4 new characters, as well as the Easter egg, really made it an intriguing map to play. I love doing the Easter egg in this map. It was so fun to do. I hate George Romero. He's a dick, but it doesn't really matter because you can kill him over and over again, get just so many different perks, get the Wonder Waff. It's an awesome time. Call of the Dead, definitely a classic, awesome map, one of my own personal favorites, and I definitely think it deserves a number 8 spot. Coming in at number 7, guys, we have Moon. Now, the Easter egg ending in itself puts it on this list, but I like the map in general. With the combination of the ray gun and the zap guns with PhD and Gershes, it is awesome. Camping in the biodome is one of my favorite experiences in zombies, and it's really, really unique. I mean, you're in fucking outer space. There's anti-gravity. There's a spaceman. I hate him so much. He's stolen so many of my perks, but regardless, he's still a fun challenge. The excavator is pretty cool as well. Moon is such a huge map. There's so many different things to do in the hacking system. When you can hack perks, you can hack players, drops, almost anything on this map you can hack. It's awesome. There's so many different ways you can go about Moon. Definitely one of the better experiences. I know there are some people that despise this map. Generally, Moon is an awesome map. It's a classic, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. Coming in at number 6, guys, we have Gorod Krovi. Now, the first time I ever played this map, it was really difficult because of how fast-paced it was, how complex it was, but as time progressed, I started to adapt to the map, and although it's still really, really fast-paced and the zombies are on steroids, I think it's a pretty fun experience. The first thing I want to point out is the gun variety. There's so many cool DLC weapons Treyarch brought into this map, like the PPSH, the L4 Siege, the FFAR. They also made a ray gun Mark III, which was epic, and they made this map really challenging. Like I said, it's really fast-paced, and also there's not one single training spot you can depend on because there's the dragons that breathe fire everywhere, so that blocks off a lot of good training areas, and everything's just so close-quartered, so realistically, it's really hard to survive on this map. But what really makes me enjoy this map is the amount of detail and the amount of balance they have. I love dragons, and Gorod Krovi went over the top with it. We got a shield that was designed like a dragon. We had a specialist that was designed like a dragon. The whole map was dragons. Even the Pack-a-Punch camo was fire, blood, destruction, Stalingrad, World War II, and epic vibe to the map. I wouldn't say that Gorod Krovi is anywhere near one of my personal favorites, but it's an awesome experience. Gorod Krovi brings a new type of challenge that we've never seen in zombies before, and although that can be negative for a lot of people, I happen to think that it's a pretty good thing. You have to be decently skilled to get to a high round on this map, and I appreciate that. So Gorod Krovi, for me, definitely deserves a spot on this list. Coming in at number 5, guys, we have Riese or the Giant. They're the exact same map, and to me, this map is perfect. This map is so bare bones. It's a World of War map, yet it's so interesting, so fun to play, and this is the one map where if I ever want to teach someone zombies or have a fun time, we always hop on this map. From the introduction to teleporters to the introduction of Pack-a-Punch, such revolutionary ideas in zombies, I think we can all agree that Riese is definitely an all-time classic, so nostalgic, probably the most played map besides perhaps maybe Kino. But you can do so many different things on this map. You can train, you can camp on the catwalk, of course, with multiple people. It's such a fun strategy. You and your friends just fending off the hordes as long as you can. Any old school zombies player will tell you that this is definitely one of the best maps of all time. It's just so fun. It brings back so many good memories, and there's so much to do. And with the remaster, the Giant, you can have gobblegums and all the advanced stuff, and it's a lot more fast-paced, so if you're into that kind of stuff, then you can do the Black Ops 3 version, but either way, it doesn't matter. This map was remade twice, so that just proves to you how epic this map is, guys. It has to be on this list. Coming in at number 4, we have Shadows of Evil. Now, I already know that there are going to be a few of you that are just like, what are you talking about? Shadows of Evil barely feels like zombies, but I'm here to prove you wrong. Now, in my series, the Zombie Map Tournament, I thought that Shadows of Evil really wouldn't stand a chance because I had a general feeling that people didn't like this map, but it turns out that people voted for Shadows of Evil with a resounding amount. Like, I did not know that people like Shadows of Evil as much as they did. Maybe that's just all the newer people in Black Ops 3. Regardless, I still think that this is definitely one of the best maps of all time. I guess the number one reason why I like this map so much is because it is packed with details and information about the zombie storyline with all the H.P. Lovecraft Apothicon stuff that they were able to morph in with the zombies and just the regular game mechanics. Everything from beast mode to the Apothicon sword to the Apothicon servant, Lil Arnie's, all these insanely good wonder weapons. And we get to fight off all these monsters like the Margwas and the parasites. It's just insane. Now, granted, setting up in this map, like I've discussed in the past, is not an easy task, at least for some people. It does take a long time. I think it's definitely worth it, though. The setup process is bad, yes, but the rewards you get are awesome. This map can be easy for getting to high rounds on, but there are so many things that mix up this map, like Margwas are always spawning in, there's always something going on. It really keeps you on your feet, and Shadows of Evil is a great time. So I know there are going to be a lot of people that hate this map, like I said, but whether you like it or not, you got to admit this map is packed. This map has so many different things you can do. There's so many little tiny Easter eggs as well, like the Mega Gobblegum Easter egg, the Trip Mine Easter egg, the main Easter egg. There's just so many ways you can go about Shadows of Evil. You can train, you can camp, not really, but you can train, and you can hang out with friends, do it solo, it doesn't matter. Shadows of Evil is an insanely fun map. I know there are going to be a lot of people that agree with me, but yeah, I've talked about Shadows of Evil so many times on my channel. I think it's one of the best maps of all time. This is my own personal opinion, but yeah. Number 4 spot, Shadows of Evil. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Der Eisendrache, my own personal favorite map of all time. What do we start with this map? I suppose we could talk about the fact that each player in the game can get their own favorite elemental bow that can take you to insanely high rounds. Maybe we could talk about the Ragnarok DG4s or the Wonder Fizz machines that were brought back. But the thing that really sells this map for me is the map design, the layout of the map, and just the general vibe of it. I mean, seriously, we're in like an isolated castle on top of a beautiful frozen mountaintop. They were able to morph real historical things with futuristic weapons and futuristic things. The replayability on this map is through the roof. You can try so many different combinations of bows and guns as well as perks. And someone who doesn't like Der Eisendrache is going to say, well, all you gotta do is grab a lightning bow and get to round 100. Simple as that. And, you know, granted that might be true, but there are also a lot of factors that can mess up your game, such as the rocket going off when you're not paying attention. I mean, that's kind of rare. You gotta be kind of like, you know, dim-witted for that to happen. Or more likely, a panzer will spawn in, and I break a sweat every time that guy spawns in on round 50. He is really hard to kill, so he definitely mixes things up. And with the Easter egg being relatively easy, yet super fun, and the epic ending with we blew up the moon, it is absolutely an incredible map. I honestly can't even put this map into words. It is just that awesome. Der Eisendrache is my personal favorite, like I said. I'm sure it's a lot of your guys's, and it's just an awesome map. I can't really say anything. It'd be a disservice for me to continue talking about it. It's just so awesome. It comes in at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot, guys, we have Mob of the Dead Alcatraz Island, with the 4 new characters being introduced: Finn O'Leary, Sal DeLuca, Billy Handsome, and Al Arlington. 4 gangsters try to escape Alcatraz prison as they are sent to a purgatory, and they are in an endless cycle where they have to break it in order to be freed. With an assortment of cool weapons such as the Uzi, the Death Machine, the AK-47, the awesome wonder weapon known as the Blundergat, with so many different ways you can upgrade it. The Hell's Retriever, all of the cool traps like the Acid Trap, the Blade Trap, the Sniper Tower. Finding all of the plane parts in order to go to the Golden Gate Bridge to get Pack-a-Punch. The list goes on and on. Mob of the Dead is a map for all players. It's not too hard, but it's definitely not too easy. An experience that everyone should try if you haven't. It is a classic, definitely my personal favorite Black Ops 2 map. Treyarch took an amazing concept of Alcatraz prison and made it into an even better concept through a zombies map in this hellish purgatory, and just like in real life, they had 4 prisoners trying to escape it. This map really does speak for itself. If you haven't heard of Mob of the Dead, if you don't know what this map is all about, you just gotta play it, man. That's all I can say. Mob of the Dead is just notorious for being one of the coolest maps of all time. Without a doubt, guys, Mob of the Dead has to be the number 2 spot, and there's not going to be any honorable mentions like I said in the beginning, so let's just hop right into the number 1 spot. The greatest map in Call of Duty Zombies Treyarch history, it has to be Origins. There's no comparison to this map, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were expecting this. If you're new in Black Ops 3 and you haven't experienced this map and you experienced Der Eisendrache, this is essentially Der Eisendrache's older brother on steroids. With the 4 elemental stabs, as well as all these cool things like the Maxis drone, these overpowered weapons like the Mark II and the MG08, being allowed to get all 9 perks before Perkaholic was a thing, and just choosing your own path every single game, this map offers replayability, style, and just an awesome vibe. Being in the trenches during this World War I setting really keeps me wanting to come back. The Easter egg was the biggest cliffhanger, yet the most epic ending in Call of Duty Zombies. Origins really set the tone for what Black Ops 3 would later be modeled as in Jason Blundell's creations. I mean, obviously Origins is nowhere near perfect, and there are tons of bad qualities that can go over. And perhaps it's maybe a little bit overrated, but there's just not one single map that comes to mind, except for perhaps maybe Der Eisendrache and Mob of the Dead, that really could be considered better than Origins. Whether you like this map or not, it is just the most epic and the best map of all time. That's all I gotta say, and Origins isn't even my favorite map. Yeah, but man, back in the day when this map first released, this was the craziest experience we've ever had, and still is to this date. We were just absolutely mind-boggled by everything, and this was the go-to map if you wanted challenge, or maybe an easy game. This map just has everything, so much replayability through the stabs, and just so many different routes you can take. Yeah, Origins is your #1 spot, guys. I'm sure that there were a lot of people that disagree with this list, maybe a few of you guys that agreed. It doesn't really matter though, because in the end of the day, we all have our own opinions. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please go down below and smash that like button. Again, let's aim for 50 likes. Please let me know what you think, guys, down in the comments. Let me know your top 10, or maybe your favorite, or the greatest map of all time in your opinion. Whenever I make these kinds of lists, I just expect people to get triggered in the comments anyway, so I'll be waiting for some of you. Thank you guys so much for the support and just watching my videos. It really means a lot to me. You guys are awesome. You guys are the reasons why I keep doing this. So thank you guys so much, and I gotta go. Peace out.